You ever notice how the stories people tell about the Caribbean always comes with warnings? They tell you, don't go too far from the resort. Don't walk alone at night. Watch your back. And my personal favorite, they're friendly, but just be careful. It's almost like somebody gave them a script and every line starts with fear. Let me ask you this. When was the last time they said that about Chicago, or New York, or London at 2 a.m. on a Friday night? You see, the truth is, people are comfortable with their own danger. It's the unfamiliar that gets exaggerated. And somehow, we became the unfamiliar. But what they never tell you is this. The Caribbean is one of the most misunderstood, misrepresented, and underrated places on earth. And the biggest danger here is believing everything they told you. Now let me be real with you. The Caribbean isn't perfect. We have crime. We have poverty. Some areas are really rough. Some governments are disgustingly messy. We don't hide that. But guess what? Neither does America or Canada or the UK. The difference is they polish up their problems. We hang ours out in the sun. And that's the first twist nobody tells you. In the Caribbean, we don't pretend. We are not in denial. We are raw, honest. And yes, sometimes that honesty looks messy, but it also makes us look safe in ways that people can't always see on a chart. Because in this part of the world, if you got lost, somebody will help you find a way. If your car breaks down, somebody will stop and help you push. Yes, you might get cussed first, like my dad, but in the end, they will help you push. That's real safety. That's community safety. And they never put that in the brochures. Never. Let's talk about the stats for a second. Yes, there are places in the Caribbean with high crime rates, but did you know that the murder rate in New Orleans is higher than the crime rate in Kingston? Parts of St. Louis, Missouri have double the violent crime of any Caribbean island. The US has over 400 mass shootings per year. We don't even know what that is like in the Caribbean. We're not saying we don't have issues, but it's not the horror movie they keep advertising. My friend lives in a housing development where all his neighbors around him are from the US and Canada. Now here's the thing they never show you. The beauty of survival. Because Caribbean people, we've been through hurricanes, colonialism, coups, corruption, earthquakes, landslide, and everything in between. And yet, we still make room to laugh, to dance, to feed people, to sit on the veranda and chat foolishness until the sun go down. There's a strength here that's not loud. It's not always on social media. It's not flashy. But it's real. And it's what keeps us standing when systems fall. Let me give you an example. Back in 2010, when Haiti faced one of the worst earthquakes in modern history, over 300,000 lives were lost. But you know what else happened? The entire Caribbean rallied. People opened homes, boats carried aid, island nations with barely enough for themselves shared what they had. That's what they never show you. Or look at Dominica after Hurricane Maria. It was flattened, but the people stood back up. No fancy headlines, no documentaries, just strength. You see, our survival isn't that trending topic because it doesn't fit the narrative. But you know what does? Oh, it's too dangerous to travel there, too unstable, too poor. When in reality, we have something most first world countries lost. It's called resilience. The one that doesn't need Wi-Fi to function. And don't get me started on the stereotypes, because apparently if you live in the Caribbean, you're either a beach vendor, a dread with a spliff, never mind that you have doctors trained in Cuba who served in global crisis, Grenadian scholars publishing research in medical journals, tech startups in Barbados, software engineers in Trinidad. They don't show that part because it doesn't fit the movie in their head. And now, here's where it gets even more twisted. They come here to escape their own chaos, but still call us the danger zone. You book a flight to Jamaica, spend a week at a 5-star all-inclusive, post a pic on the beach with a caption that says paradise, but then go home and warn others to be careful. Careful of what? The same people who just serve you dinner, showed you directions, and smile like they've known you forever. The only danger they experienced was being treated with more kindness than they're used to. And here's a hard truth. The Caribbean is not more dangerous than anywhere else. It's just not white-owned. Let that sink in. Because when countries are independent, when the people are proud, when the land belongs to us, suddenly it becomes a place to be feared. But we're not here to change who we are to make people comfortable. We don't need approval to exist in peace. If everything I'm saying makes sense to you right now, help me out. I'm on a mission to get in 500 to 1,000 likes on this video. Let's just keep it real. I'm trying to get 1,000 likes on this video to make a statement to YouTube, and I need your help, and you can do it, and it's free. And drop a comment or drop your flag to make it extra nice. Now we are about to flip the whole narrative on its head, because you might have heard that the Caribbean is struggling, but what they don't realize is that the Caribbean is quietly winning. Because let's talk the truth right now. The part nobody likes to say out loud. The Caribbean is not more dangerous than first world countries. It's just more exposed. Because when something happens in the Caribbean, a robbery, a protest, a flood, it makes international news faster than you can say breaking bulletin. But when the exact same thing happens in New York or London or Toronto, you barely hear a whisper. Unless it's big enough to shake Wall Street or Parliament. They sweep it under the rug, patch it with PR, and move on like nothing happened. So who's really more dangerous? The place that has nothing to hide, or that one that hides everything? Explain this to me, please. Because they told you the Caribbean was backward, but never told you that we invented our own banking system in Barbados that still handles billions today. They told you we were uneducated, but left out the fact that Trinidad and Tobago has one of the highest literacy rates in the world today with 98%. They said we were lazy, but they never seen a Jamaican market woman wake up at 4 a.m. to sell produce from a stall she built with her bare hands, and still go home and cook dinner for 6 children. They say it's all poverty and struggle, but didn't show you that some of the most expensive beachfront property in the Western Hemisphere is in St. Bart's, the Bahamas, and the Cayman Islands. And here's the wild part. Even the people who spread the danger narrative still come for vacation. They sip our rum, they stay at our resorts, they take picture with our people and smile like they belong. Because they know the truth. They're just hoping you don't. They want the Caribbean for its beauty, but never for its dignity. And that's where we come in. Because you grew up in the Caribbean, you know what the media doesn't show. You know what it feels like to laugh when things get rough. You know what it feels like to share your last dumpling with a friend who had none. You know that sometimes all you had was the sea breeze, sand, and one ripe mango. And somehow that was enough. Now this part here, this is where it gets uncomfortable. Because you're living abroad right now, you might have seen it. They show you the Caribbean like it's a war zone. But walk into a supermarket in the US and watch 2 grown adults fight over a parking spot. They show you poverty in Haiti, but never the 10 cities in California and Toronto, where thousands live without shelter. They show you crime in Jamaica, but skip the fact that the US has more than days in the year. And here's something else that they don't broadcast enough. A quiet crisis sweeping through towns and suburbs, where millions are battling a kind of pain that doesn't show up on the evening news. I've seen it myself. A wave of prescription addiction, broken families, and a generation numbing itself just to get through the day. Emergency rooms filled, communities devastated, but they're still telling you we are the ones living dangerously. It's wild, isn't it? Don't believe me? Go into YouTube after you finish watching this video and type in Hastings Street, Vancouver, Canada. Tell me what you see. Come back and hit me in the comments. You'll see how crazy it is, because the places that are pointing fingers, they are the ones breaking down inside. Meanwhile, you could walk into a Caribbean village with no internet, no Uber Eats, and no AC, and somehow still find peace. Still find a neighbor who's lending you sugar or a laugh under a mango tree. The truth is, the Caribbean is not perfect, and nobody said it was, because we have problems. Real ones. Corruption, crime, infrastructure struggles, mainly because of the puppet governments we have. But we also have solutions. We have community. We still raise each other's children. We still offer food to strangers. We still go to church, and we still tell stories on the front step until the mosquitoes run us inside. Now here's the twist. A lot of us Caribbean people leave the island chasing a better life, only to realize the danger was never here. The danger was losing yourself, losing your accent because they laugh at it, or losing your culture because you're trying to fit in, losing your joy because the rat race abroad doesn't even let you breathe. That's why this video matters, because we are waking up. We are realizing the Caribbean is not something to run from. It's something to be proud of. The rhythm, the resilience, the flavor, the faith. That's why people from all over the world now are trying to move to the Caribbean. I've seen it. One of my friends says they want what we had all along. Peace, community, sunshine on your skin without fear. So if you're from the Caribbean, never forget, you come from survivors, from warriors, from enslaved people who were told they would never make it and still rose, from ancestors who danced through the rain and laughed through the pain. You were never dangerous. You were never broken. You were never behind. You were just hidden, but not anymore. If you've ever had to defend the Caribbean to somebody who didn't understand it, drop your flag in the comments. Let them see what unity looks like. And tell me, what's something about Caribbean life that the world needs to see? Let's make the algorithm tell our story, not just theirs. Because now, the world is watching. So next time they say the Caribbean is dangerous, just smile, because it is. Dangerous to lies, dangerous to propaganda, dangerous to any people who can smile with nothing and still find joy. They told you the Caribbean was dangerous, but what they never showed you was how powerful we really are. Stay strong, my friend, because it's not just a destination, it's the journey. Blessings.